I'm transferring myself and trying to become a woman. This is also changes creation of Allah. Then there is a woman trying to become a man. Not those who are by birth they are wrong. We are not talking about those. We are talking about general people who are normally men. They want to transfer them into feminine by physically. So you are trying to alter the creation what Allah has created you. So changing and creating. Then there are men who are shaving. Why men shave beards? Why they are altering themselves to become a woman? Women don't have beards or they don't have hairs on their faces, and if they do have, they pluck it out. If they don't like the hairs on their face because they are feminine. They do medical. They spend thousands of rupees. Now there are X-ray machines, or I don't know. Sorry, X-ray. There are some laser machines are there, so to remove the hair, unwanted hairs on the face. So men who are removing the hairs are copying who? Why are they removing? So there is an argument going on in the world where the Quran says that we should keep a beard, where the Quran says to remove the beard. It is like you say, you start asking me a question, Muhammad Shaykh, you've got hairs. Where the Quran says you must have a hair on your head? The hairs on the head are available. So if I'm removing the hair of the head, you can ask me, why did you remove it? So similarly, my question to men are, why are you removing the beard? So basically in the ancient time, I think it was the gay who cannot see himself with a beard. His psychologically meant disorder, he wants to see him as a female. So he not only removes the hairs of his face, he removes the hairs of his whole body. And he sees himself as a woman. You understand? And he named men as gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Not men, ladies and men, no, gentlemen. If I say ladies and men, so but when I use the gentle, the women are happy now. We want that like the gentlemen. We don't like bearded men. We want like us, so we should not be afraid of them. It is not being afraid of a beard, it is the difference between men and women. Beard is basically a difference. It is, you're creating a ghayr Allah. What beard is for men, they should have. So what I'm trying to do, I'm using few things. There are many things in the world. The scientists are doing experiments and trying to find out the creation should be done ghayr Allah. What Allah did not explain or the creation of Allah you can see in the world. If you try to change it, if you try to alter it, for what purpose? For medical treatment you can do this. If there are certain women and men born a physical disorder, you can create an alteration and make him men or woman. But normal people who are men, they should remain men. Normal women are women, they should remain women. Or they are black, they don't have to become white. Or they are white, they shouldn't have to become black. Or there are many things people are, I don't know, you can go and think, your own thinking you can understand that is it a change, an alteration of the creation of God? You will come to know the answer yourself. And who takes shaitan, a protector from other than Allah, then without doubt he is at a loss, a clear loss. So now all these verses that I read is referring to the behavior of the shaitan, the devil. All these ayahs was a dialogue or a discussion between Allah and the devil. I will read few Arabic ayahs and these points that I will discuss. On page 19, I will read the points in the Quranic ayahs, then I also read the Bible. First I will read the Quranic verses. They are not complete verses, they are small points from those verses. And I have given the heading, beware of the worldly experience stirred up by the shaitan, the satanic masculine manners, which takes away the major temperament of mankind. Points derived from the various ayats of science, Al-Baqarah 2 and Ayah 102. And people follow what shaitan recited over the kingdom of Sulaiman, and Solomon did not reject it, but the shayateen, satans rejected and taught mankind magic. So in this ayah, in this verse, the point is the shaitan is teaching mankind magic. Magic is something which you see a thing which is not real. Which is not real, but it appears to be real to you. That is magic. In a physical thing you see something, it appears to be a magic. It is not real. Similarly, in psychology, people show you something which is not real, but you start believing in it, then you are the influence of the magic. In religion, in philosophy, in science, everything, believe me, people show you something which is not real and you start believing in that, that is magic. So this shaitan does this, shaitan does all that. Then the works of the shaitan are, Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:90 verse, the works of the shaitan, Satan, are intoxicants. You get intoxicated, gambling, stones and statues, worship of the statues. I'm giving you just points. In Surah Al-Baqarah 2:268, shaitan promises you of poverty and orders you with fahisha, adultery, fornication, homosexual, lesbianism. This is what shaitan does to the people. He orders you with poverty. If you are not going to obey the Satan, he says you will become poor. Poverty. You will be poor fellow. Al-Baqarah 2:275, shaitan has touched him to madness who eat riba, they increase. People who are eating riba, they increase, they are touched to madness. And in Surah Bani Israel 17, ayahs 27, shaitan's brother are spendthrifts. Wastage of money, spending for nothing. Not for Allah, but just for nothing. Shaitan suggests to fear from his protectors. Now shaitan makes sure that people are fearful from his friends. Shaitan in Anam 6, ayah 121, Satan inspired their protectors to argue with you. The shaitan inspires the people so that the people who are following shaitan will come and argue with the believers. Satan causes grief to the believers from their secret consultations. They have secret consultation not for the betterment, they have secret consultation how to hurt, how to injure the believers. Shaitan intends to create enmity, hatred amongst you and opposition about the remembrance of Allah and salah prayers. And in Surah Mujadala 58:19, Satan has got the better of them so that he has made them forget the remembrance of Allah. Now this is very important for us people who are taking education of the Quranic ayahs. Some people are ignorant of the ayahs. Some people who are taking the essence of the message of, and they forget after some time. If you do not involve in the message of Allah's ayahs continuously, you start forgetting the essence. That is what shaitan has got them better of them, so he has made them forget the remembrance of Allah most gracious. So you must understand, once you have understood the message, it will not retain in your mind until you keep on repeating that ayahs to you and start implementing those ayahs to you in life. Now another part is about the Bible. What the Bible has to say about few things, and you can understand, is it a quotation referring to the message, any message in it, or is it a satanic quotation? Proverbs 31:6-7. Alcohol is for the people who are dying, for those who are in misery. Let them drink and forget their poverty and unhappiness. You know, this is basically a situation mentioned in the Bible, that it is a commandment that why people should drink alcohol. What is the reason of drinking alcohol? So it is said in the Bible, it said alcohol is for the people who are dying in hunger, who are dying, for those who are in misery. So now further, Saul is a prophet of God, astaghfirullah, according to the Bible. Saul, you know how you get revelation in the Bible? He says here it is the Saul stripped off his clothes and lay down naked all the day and all the night. Why he was doing so? To get a sign from God. My servant Isaiah has been going about naked and barefoot for 3 years. Is this God commandments? Whose commandment? That you should go naked 3 years, then only you'll get the message of God. You know? Young and old, they will walk barefoot and naked with their buttocks exposed. Where? In the nude beaches. They are following the Bible in its 2 little words. You see, in Faisha, it's Judges 16 verse, Samson has sex with a whore in Gaza. Ruth cohabits with Boaz and Ban. Ruth 3:4-15. I didn't reading the whole, you give you his points. Whoredoms of 2 sisters, Ahola and Oholiba. Ezekiel 23 verse 1-49. Fahisha, incest between father-in-law Judah and daughter-in-law Tamar. Genesis, you read 38, 15-18. Incest between mother Bilhah and son Reuben. Genesis 35 verse 35 chapter or book. For other types of insects, see Leviticus 18:8, 18:20, 11:14, and so. What these are basically all biblical quotations to tell you how the shaitan has written all this for you to take guidance. So in the world, people are doing this all naked business because they are following the Bible in its true sense. And who is doing all this? Not Allah. These are not Allah's commandments, of course. Surah Al-A'raf 7 and Ayah 19. وَيَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ فَكُلَا مِنْ حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And O Adam, you and your pair stay in the garden, then both of you eat from wherever you wish, and do not go near this tree, so you will become from the oppressors. In this ayah, we have to note it is referring to Adam and his pair, that they may live in the garden and eat of that anything from the garden that is permissible in the garden they can eat, but they are asked not to go near a tree. If they go near that tree, they will be from the oppressors. So there are 3 points or 3 things that we should know. Who is Adam? Second is the Jannah, the garden, and the third is the tree. And Adam's pair, Zawj. Ya Adam uskun anta wa zawjukal jannah. You and your pair. You see, like we all, that in the audience there are ladies and gentlemen. If I call myself a man, there are ladies. But Adam combines both, ladies and gentlemen. And how? I will let you know. You see, there's a place in the Quran where the reference I just give you can write down the reference, is Surah Hujurat 49. I am just giving you I will read a portion of that ayah. It says, Ya ayyuhan nas inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa unsa. O mankind, we have created you from one male and a female. So God Almighty has created mankind from a male and a female, not from a man and from a woman. Masculine and feminine. From a masculine and feminine. O mankind, ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum zakaran wa unsa. We have created you from a masculine and a feminine. So in the gender, in a human being, a male, like a man and a woman, both these people have got a masculine and a feminine gender in their psyche. And in this psychology, they say id is referred to emotions and ego is referred to a provider to the emotions. So the masculine is in a similitude would be ego, and the emotion will be the unsa, the feminine. So when Allah says to Adam, is not referring to a human being as a male. It is referring to a masculine personality, masculine. Not necessarily a man. Man, both sexes. Men and women, both. That is, I am referring to Adam is referred as both sexes, men and women, both. So it says, Ya Adam uskun anta wa zawjukal jannah. O Adam, you and your pair stay in the garden. So you must understand that it is when we take the lesson from it, what is the lesson to us as a human being? So it is referring to a male or a masculine or a feminine. That you live in the garden is referring to the masculine, and it is saying to the feminine, that is the zawj. But it is not a male and a female, a man and a woman. It is referring to not a man and a woman, it is referring to a human being which contains a masculine and feminine personalities within them. So it says, O Adam means referring to the masculine. you and your pair stay in the garden, and then both of you eat from wherever you wish, and do not go near the tree, this tree, so you will become from the oppressors. Now, what is a tree? Garden. First of all, garden is a similitude in the Quran. There is a reference in the Quran where garden is referred as a simile to the earth, an example to the earth, like earth. Garden, Jannah. If you say in the Arabic, Jannah is garden. But the definition of the garden as mentioned in the Quran is a similitude or an example like the earth. Not exactly earth, like the earth, an example. So garden would be like this. And then shajara, I'll just explain these three words because then you can understand this ayah properly. The shajara is a tree. Now in the Quran there is an ayah in Surah Ibrahim 14, that you can note down the reference in 14, and ayah is 24 to 26. Allah in that ayah describes that the example, a portion of that is Mathalan Kalimatan Tayyibatan Kashajaratin Tayyibah. That the example of a word, good word, like a tree, a good tree, the good tree is an example of a good word. And the same Surah 26 ayat says, Mathalu kalimatin khabithatin kashajatin khabisatin. An evil word, a bad word, is an example of a bad word. And the tree is referred in the Quran when it says a good word is like a bad tree, a good tree, and a bad word is like a bad tree. So Allah is referring to a tree in the garden that do not go near the tree. So that would be a bad word. And garden is like an earth, I'm telling you, like I said, not exactly. And the example is given in the Quran itself says that Jannah, the garden, is an example for man. So in the further ayahs you see Taha 20 and 118 and 119. Inna laka alla tajua fiha wa la ta'ra wa annaka la tadma'u fiha wa la tadha. Surely you are not to be hungry and naked in it, and surely you are not to be thirsty and victim in it. Now it is referring to the garden, that mankind should know, or the Adamic space should know, that in the garden you will not be hungry, and you will not be naked, and you will not feel thirsty, and you will not be victim in it. 4 things in the garden. The garden that has been provided to Adam, in that garden, there are 4 things Allah explains: that you will not be hungry, you will not be naked, then you will not be thirsty, and you will not be victim in it. In that garden, where Adam and its pair are supposed have to be in that garden. But in that garden there is a tree which I have explained an example of a bad word. Do not go near that tree. So otherwise that garden says that if you live in that garden or eat of that garden, consume of that garden, you will not be hungry, you will not be thirsty, you will not be naked, and you will not be victimized. Now how, in simple language, hungry for food, so they say we will provide you the food. The mankind say we have to provide the food. Then you don't have to feel thirst, the water will be supplied. Then you will be knowing the clothes will be given to you. And the third is you will not be victim, your feelings will not be hurt. But in a psyche, physical I explained that the food is the nourishment and the eating. In the psychological also aspect, that people in the world expects to demand hunger for power. That it says you will not be hungry for what? Food is physical. But at the same time, man is also hungry for power, for fame, for wealth. You say that. People like this, they are crazy for that. But in that garden, if you are in that garden, you will not feel that hunger for power, for anything, for kingdom, or for wealth. Similarly, naked is that if you do some bad or evil or do wrong by the Satan, it will be covered. You will not feel naked. Otherwise they say, I am naked now. Everything is exposed of mine. So if you are in that garden, that Adam, as Allah is asking that Adam, you eat of that, consume of that garden, but do not go near the tree. So you will not feel naked. You will always be covered. When a person gets naked, when he does something wrong and it is exposed, he's almost naked, psychologically. Similarly, third factor was that you will not thirsty. Thirsty is for knowledge. People seek knowledge. But if you are in that garden of Allah, that Adam and his pair, that you will not even feel thirst of knowledge, because Allah is, if you are consuming from that garden. Similarly, fourth is victim. That if you are within that garden, you will not be victimized, because who is victimizing? Your feelings will not be hurt, because Allah has provided that garden in such a manner that that garden you will not feel thirsty, you will not be victimized. There is nothing wrong in it, except the tree. Except the tree, that do not go near the tree. And the Quran is explained that tree is refers to, I have explained that is an example of a evil word, a bad tree, or a bad word. Now how this shaitan is going to misguide? Surah Taha, Surah 20 and Ayah 120. فَوَسْوَسَ إِلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانِ قَالَ يَا آدَمْ هَلْ أَدُلُّكَ على شدة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. So the shaitan, the Satan, whispered to him, saying, O Adam, do I give you the evidence over the tree of eternity and the kingdom that does not decay? Now here the shaitan is whispering to Adam, who is in the garden. He's whispering to Adam, who is in the garden, do I give you the evidence of that tree, of the tree which Allah has referred that do not go near the tree. Allah, the Satan is whispering to Adam that do I give you the evidence? What is the reason why Allah is forbidding you not to go near the tree? What is the purpose that do not go there? Allah said do not go near the tree. So the Shaitan is saying that do I give you the evidence that not to go near the tree? Why? Because he says that if you go near the tree, you will become eternity. The tree of eternity. This is the tree of eternity. And the kingdom that does not decay. These are the 2 points that he refers to, that if you go near the tree, your kingdom will not decay, and the tree is the tree of eternity. You will live forever. The tree of eternity. Ala shajaratil khuldi. Tree of eternity means living ever, and a kingdom that does not decay. So now you must understand that no man wants to die. Knowingly that we have to die and have to give our account. Everybody knows this. But that knowing is such in darkness that we really do not want to know that we are going to die. So people are involved in the activities of life to an extent that they forget their death. Who is doing it? Because this person, this Shaitan. Because you are going to live forever if you go near the tree. That the tree is referring to, the Shaitan is giving an argument why Allah is not asking not to go near the tree. Because it's a bad word, it's an evil word of the Satan. And further you see how he says these things. In Surah Al-Araf 7, I'm telling you the references where Satan is influencing man, the Adam and the man. Reference how he is misguiding us. Surah Al-Araf 7 and Ayah 20. فَوَسْوَسَ لَهُمَا الشَّيْطَانِ لِيُبْدِيَ لَهُمَا مَا بُورِيَ عَنْهُمَا مِنْ سَوْآتِهِمَا وَقَالَ مَا نَهَاكُمَا رَبُّكُمَا عَنْ هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةِ إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَا مَلَكَيْنِ أَوْ تَكُونَا مِنَ الْخَالِدِينَ وَقَاسَمَهُمَا إِنِّي لَكُمَا لَمِنَ النَّاصِحِينَ. Then this is Surah Al-Araf 7, 20 and 21. Then Satan whispered, so that he made for them appear from their ills, badness or hurts, which are behind them, and said, that your Lord has forbidden from this tree that you become angels and you become eternal, Khalidin. Malakain is angels. And Allah says, He divided them. Surely I am from the advisor for both of you. Now, the shaitan whispers so that he made for them appear their ills, their hurts. You see, every human being has got their feelings, hurt or ills or badness within themselves. So shaitan, you see, this is a very approach of shaitan approach is to bring the hurts or ills in front of you. And when he brings the ills or the hurts in front of you, that what is behind us, he brings that forward first. The Satan whispers so that he made for them to appear the ills which were behind them, which was somewhere behind, but he brought them forward. He brought those ill or hurts in front of them. And then said, your Lord has forbidden from this tree so that you become angels and you become eternal. So now you must understand, the shaitan is not immediately telling you, do not go near this tree. Allah said, do not go near the tree, and shaitan said, go near the. No. He says first argument. He brings your hurts, which you are hurt. Because where you are hurt, if somebody touches that hurtness of yours, and then I try to explain something, you will never understand. Because you will be emotionally worked up. Because your emotions will be worked up. Your hurts and your bad feelings where you are sensitive, you say he's sensitive. If somebody is brought forward that, then you can say, while God is, you can whatever, then you can misguide him. It is not an easy matter to misguide anyone until you move his feelings first, or your emotions where hurts are there, you bring the hurts forward of that person, and then you want to misguide. How to misguide? This is how shaitan does. First he brings the hurts in front of you to tell you you are so weak, you don't know Arabic language, you do not know this, you do not know that, and this is the reason and this is the purpose, this so many bad things and evil. You say, yes, I am so bad and evil and so bad, I cannot do this and I cannot do that, I am this and so many things. He will put some certain arguments that all your weaknesses in front of you. When you intend to do something positive, all the weaknesses or hurts and badness are brought forward in front of you. These are the Arabic words, sawatihima, your hurts, your badness or evils. So that he appeared them first. He brings that thing in front of you. And then, which were behind, and then he says, your Lord has forbidden from this tree so that you become angels. And the angels, or you become eternal. Now why he says angels and become Khalidin? Khalid is again eternal. Before also we have read that he said you'll get the kingdom that never decays. Before previously we know that kingdom that never decays, or the angels. In the language of the worldly affairs, angel is something that does not do any mistakes and they are all good or everlasting. Because Quran doesn't speak of their life and death for the angels, except for human beings or the other things. So he says you'll become angels, you will live forever, and further he says that you will become eternal. So I'm telling you, before also and here also, he's again pushing you that you will not die. You will not die. Knowingly that you know you're going to die, because the moment you know that you're not going to die, then you must know that you have to give your accounts. So he's telling you that you will become angels, or you will live forever. أَوْ تَكُونَ مِنَ الْخَالِدِينَ. You will live forever. This is eternity. These are the things that are brought forward in front of you. First of all, the ills or the hurts or the badness are brought forward. Then he says the Lord has forbidden you not to go near the tree, because you will become angels and you will live forever. But here we are reading about the Satan. I'm telling you how he divided. He divided, then he says, I divided them, he divided them. Surely I am the advisor of both of you. In the whole verse in this ayah, it is referring to Adam and your pair. Adam and your pair, both. So I'm explaining to you what are these two both. it is your intelligence, the masculine of a human being, and the feminine is the desire, the id or the ego in psychology. Feminine is the feelings, emotions. We are a combination of the intelligence and the emotions. Now how Shaitan does it further in Surah Al-Araf 7 and Ayah 22. فَدَلَّاهُمَا بِغُرُورٍ فَلَمَّا ذَاقَ الشَّجَرَةَ بَدَتْ لَهُمَا سَوْآتُهُمَا وَطَفِقَا يَخْصِفَانِ عَلَيْهِمَا مِنْ وَرَقِ الْجَنَّةِ وَنَادَاهُمَا رَبُّهُمَا أَلَمْ أَنْهَكُمَا عَنْ تِلْكُمَا الشَّجَرَةِ وَأَقُلْ لَكُمَا إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمَا عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Then with delusion he made evident to both of them. Then they tasted of the tree, so their ills appeared, and they began to sue over them the leaves from the garden. And the Lord called them, did I not forbid you about the tree? And I said, surely the Shaitan, the Satan, is a clear enemy for both of you. You see the word delusion. Every word that we should know, that with the delusion he made evident to both of them, and they tasted of the tree. Delusion. What is a delusion? I read the simple meaning and then we discuss. Delusion is a false mental conception resistant to reason with regard to the actual things of matter or fact. In simple word, which is a fact. Whatever is a fact,